Kento Momota, the reigning world champion, two-time reigning world champion, current world number one seed here at the Denmark Open. Invited into the arena first. Also two-time winner of this title.
Jonatan Christie.
His opponent, Jonatan Christie, the Asian Games gold medalist, the Asian Games in Jakarta in 2018. And that was a huge win and probably his best win to date. But many people who watched the Thomas Cup final under a week ago, Jonatan Christie was the hero of the hour, winning the third and winning match of the best of 5 matches in the final against what had been the defending champion, China. Beat Li Shifeng in Aarhus, and in doing so, it meant that Indonesia won a 14th Thomas Cup in their 20th final. Well, this is the 6th meeting between these two players, and I can tell you that Momota has won 4 of the previous 5, including the last 2. The last time was in the group stage of the World Tour finals in Guangzhou in 2019. 21-14, 21-14 in 38 minutes. The left-handed Japanese player won on that occasion, but an awful lot has happened to Kento Momota since then. Terrible car accident after he won the Malaysian Masters of 2020. Sadly, the driver of the vehicle that was taking him to the airport was killed in the accident. This man then had to have surgery on his eye. He then got COVID. His preparations for the Olympics in Tokyo, his home Olympics, was anything but ideal. Well, Jonatan Christie will be on quite a high after his Thomas Cup campaign. But whether the accumulation of tiredness finally starts to catch up with him, we'll wait to see. Momota, as you can see, he's 27 years of age, only turned 27 last month, from Kagawa on Shikoku Islands. Number 1 in the world, and he's enjoying his 116th week in total as world number 1. Won the title here in 2018, beating the man we've just seen, Cho Tien-chen, in the final. Then in 2019, beat Chen Long in 2 straight games. And as you can see, beat Tomojuno Popov in the first round. And then in the second round, it was the battle of the former world number 1s, well, current world number 1 and former world number 1, Kidambi Srikanth, who won the title here in 2017, beaten by Momota. So Jonatan Christie is 24 years of age. He, like his opponent, had a birthday last month, born in the Indonesian capital of Jakarta. Has been as high as 4 weeks at number 4 and making his 4th appearance here at the Denmark Open. This is first quarter final, and he beat Pranoy in the first round from India, and then Kanta Sugiyama of Japan in the second round. Prior to this year, 3 second round losses for Jonatan Christie at this particular event. So our umpire from the Netherlands, Tonia, and service judge from India, Khanna.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kento Momota, Japan. And on my left, Jonatan Christie, Indonesia. Momota to serve. Level. Play.
So the former champion, the current world champion, current world number one, the left-handed Kento Momota, for far side of the court, getting this quarterfinal underway against Jonatan Christie. Well, both of these players playing a major role in the Sudirman Cup campaign and then the Thomas Cup campaign, but for Momota, only a total of 8 matches over those 2 team competitions, whereas Jonatan Christie, a total of 12 matches. Steen, do you think that's going to take its toll? I do beg your pardon, it wasn't 12 matches at all, it was 7 matches.
So, one match for Momota.
1 match more for Momota.
Yeah, and I think we saw that, and he played some really important matches in the first men's single in both events. And I do think it's taken a bit of a toll on him. But on the other hand, I also think that he needs to play these matches to sort of get close to his previous form. For Jonatan Christie, it's, in my opinion, very interesting because after Sudirman Cup, I really had him out of top 8 of current strong men's singles players. But then after the Thomas Cup, well, he was right back in it because he was crucial for Indonesia's victory, defeating Anders Antonsen in the semi-final against Denmark, and also winning against Li Shifeng, Chinese youngster. Brilliant match.
Yeah, and over 3 hours on court for those 2 matches, semi-final and final. But, you know, when you've got elation and you're so happy you won the Thomas Cup and you're a big part of it, you perhaps don't feel the tiredness quite so much, but it is, I'm guessing it's going to catch up with him.
Suddenly, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
I think we saw it today in men's doubles with Fire Alfian, who looked like he was somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I would also say that it's the first time in a while that we've seen Christie in the form he was in at the Thomas Cup. So the return to form is also a strong motivator, I think, that when you've been down for so long, finally being back, that feels nice. And I think he wants to play Momota today to see if he can match him, because I feel he's playing the best badminton since he won the Asian Games, Jonatan Christie.
Yeah, and to back up your point there, he hasn't actually been in a semi-final. Obviously, this is a quarter-final. He's playing for a semi-final place for very nearly 2 years. The last semi-final was the Hong Kong Open of 2019. So that backs up your belief that he's playing better at the moment than he has done for some considerable time.
And before the Thomas Cup and before the Sudirman Cup, I thought, okay, Indonesia has an okay second men's singles. But had I known what kind of shape he was displaying in Thomas Cup, I would have said, okay, Indonesia has the best second men's singles.
Yeah. Well, of course, Jonatan Christie, I mean, there is life outside of the badminton court, and he's suffered a family bereavement. His brother very sadly died of COVID.
Yeah, and his parents were hospitalized with COVID as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell them because it might harm their recovery. He read that Momota. At least he read the side.
Oh, yes, that's good play from Christie.
Okay, 4.
38 shots. These rallies are getting longer and longer.
Player. Jonatan.
Oh, great take off the top of the tape
7, 4.
from the Indonesian. Tell me, Steen, you know, when you compare Kento Momota in 2019, when he was in 12 finals, winning 11 of them from only 16 tournaments played, to the Kento Momota we saw in Tokyo and the Kento Momota we've seen at this year's All England and the last team competitions. What has been different? What has been missing?
Well, I didn't see him in Tokyo. I was waiting till after the group stage, and that proved to be a bad decision. Well, first of all, I think the aura is broken. We saw Christie challenge at the net there, and just as confident as Momota, and that was not necessarily the case back in 2019. I think his net game is not at the same standard, and his defense is definitely not the same standard.
Ooh, that's landed in. Yeah.
As back in 19, his especially his backhand defense. Lee Si-ja, he showed it at the All England, that cross smash from the right-handed player's forehand side to Momota's backhand. That is that's a gap with Momota at the moment. There weren't a lot of people utilizing it back in 2019, so we don't know how big a difference it is. But
Service over.
you almost couldn't score against Momota in 2019. He won some matches, really comfortable wins, and that's definitely possible today. I don't think that he's as fast either as he was back then. So it's not like it's a catastrophe in any way, and he might be getting back to it, getting more and more match practice. And we could see in that was in Finland when he played Lee Si-ja the first time, how much it meant to him to win that match. And Momota, he's also human, so when he hasn't played for a long while, when he hasn't sort of reconfirmed his status as the world's best, then he gets in doubt as well. And then losing All England, and even more devastating, of course, losing in the group stage at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Then doubt is creeping in, and I think that match against Lee Si-ja, there he felt he could compete again. And I once heard someone say, and I've remembered it ever since, self-confidence is a very fragile thing.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. Somebody's got a flashlight on. That's just terrible. Right behind the court. It's amazing that Jonatan Christie is playing on. Yeah, there's an announcement from the public address. Yeah. That's just shocking. Well, strings are broken in Momota's racket. It's a fascinating thing, Steen, because you talked there about the aura that he had, and he did have an aura of invincibility.
Yep.
Susie Susanti had it years ago. Lin Dan had it.
Yep.
Now, the interesting thing with those players is that they may have lost a bit of self-confidence, but other players still believed in their aura of invincibility.
Yeah, but that's because we heard all kinds of good explanations, or perhaps not so good explanations about how Lindan was just throwing this game to put more excitement into the next tournament and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Because he showed that he could take a year off from badminton, more or less, after winning the Olympics, and then come back and win another Olympics.
Yeah.
The thing is, nobody escapes Father Time.
No.
And nor did Lindan. And in the end, there was nothing to come back. The last 3-4 years, I mean, there were some players, they were just better than him.
Yeah. But I think initially he was still winning matches on reputation, whereas that's not happened to Momota. Other players now believe they can beat him.
Yeah, I drifted away from that. Here, there's a big outside impact where people know that this is perhaps not the same player. He's been out for a year, he's been in an accident, he's been going through surgery, like you said, he's had COVID and so on. So people are testing, is this still the same Momota? It would have been a whole different case had he won the All England. Had Lizzie Gia not surfaced and beat him.
Yeah.
It would have been a whole different case, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And there was an interview on Danish TV. I don't know if I discussed it with you before, Jill, but there was an interview with Janno Jorgensen where he mentioned it. He said, I was out for a year. TV2 was asking, could Janno Jorgensen make a comeback? He's still 18 or something in the world ranking because you don't lose any tournaments at the moment. And he said, I couldn't, my body couldn't cope with it. I was out for a year, a while. It was tough to come back. Look at how Momota has struggled after his comeback.
Yeah. So he finds the line and therefore has the advantage at the mid-game interval, albeit only a 1-point advantage.
Udah dari tengah
Threaded it down the line.
Jangan semuanya kebanyakan apa bilang. Kamu
This is nigh on perfection. Watch this.
Dari sana lurus dulu, dia udah jaga gitu, ngerti kan? Kalau tengah belakangnya, waktu kamu diginiin ya, agak kencang dikit. Supaya dia nggak bisa variasi tengah depannya ya. Kamu udah bagus dorongnya, kamu angkat, dorong. Tapi jangan lupa, kamu harus pegang lagi dari netnya. Ya, lepas itu bebas aja. Ya, tapi kalau udah angkat, lebih siap aja buat defense-nya. Come on. Dia pokoknya turunnya nggak bahaya.
And just to shortly close it down, when he came back from his ban, he was younger, and he was, due to his lack of rankings, he was forced to play his way in by winning smaller tournaments.
Yeah.
So building up confidence, he didn't have that chance here. It was love all play, performers at your previous level.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, that's a beautiful drop shot. And just for the record, the suspension that Steen was talking about was from his national association, Momota. He wasn't banned by the International Federation. He was banned by his own association because he visited an illegal gambling establishment. And in the Japanese culture, that is a very bad thing. Wow.
Service over.
That I also think has been missing.
Yes.
The attacking play from Momota.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Just rolled that racket head at the last moment.
Line judge. Line judge. Line judge. Line judge. Wipe the court, please. Yes. Jonathan. 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 No, stay on court. Yeah. Just don't see coaching.
I don't get that. Why not? There's a break in the game, so he should be allowed to receive coaching.
Yeah. I can understand that they not allowed to leave the courts, but
12,
if they're
14.
within the court and the coach, they're at the back of the court,
Yeah.
so that they can
sense at all.
hear the coach, that's perfectly within the rules.
Service over. 15-12.
Yeah.
And there's some more bite in that smash that we've seen previously, but this is also faster playing conditions. Read faster shuttles than we've seen in Sudirman Cup in Finland and Thomas Juba Cup in Aarhus.
He's missed it. It's gone long.
Yeah.
Now that's a pity from an Indonesian perspective, because he read that drop shot very well.
I also think that he's moved faster here, Momota. Probably spurred on by Christie, who is playing well, so he needs to up his pace. And it's working because right now Christie looks like there's a very long road ahead of him if he wants to win this match. He started out really well, in my opinion. It was totally even. Was it 11-12 or something like that?
Well, he was 7-4 up at one stage. Then it was 11-10 to Momota at the game interval. Look how he guessed that, Momota, which way the smash was coming. It's a good return of serve.
13-19.
Well, that'd have been a run, 5 straight points.
It's going to be really interesting to see the rest of this match, and if Momota moves on, or in France when he plays some of the players that he's struggled with, could be Lee Si-ja. Chi has gone home, so we won't see that. But I feel that he's playing at a higher pace now, and that is it's causing problems for Christie.
Yeah.
And might help his own game, that he's actually a bit more inaccurate at a lower pace.
Game point opportunities. And the opening game, 21-13. 13 of the last 16 points. From 8-10 down. Second half of the game is dominated by the two-time former champion.
Kamu kepancing waktu dia dorong nonet itu ya, kamu dorongnya datar
20
banget
minutes.
gitu, Jo. Nggak lewat orang, jadi dia udah
Just about for the opening game.
Supaya nggak itu terjadi, Jo, kamu waktu dia dorong gitu, kamu mainin dulu tengah depannya, kayak kamu main nonet gitu, jauhin. Jadi ada silang, ngerti kan, Jo? Kayak main-main gitu, taruh. Baru udah dia ke depan, baru kamu angkat lagi gitu, ngerti kan? Tapi dorong gitu. Jangan pas dia udah panjang itu, kamu langsung gitu. Dia nyambungnya enak gitu. Walaupun sebenarnya nggak kencang karena bolanya kencang, jadi dia langsung nyamber gitu. Jadi buat itu nggak nyetop dia, kamu main dulu tengah depan. Sampai waktu kamu di atas baru kamu pegang gitu. Ya, memang satu memang harus nyerang juga. Ya, kalau udah terdesak jangan agak pelan, Jo. Kamu agak kencengin dikit aja, terus gitu ke depan. Tapi siap, dia mau main grab-graban juga. Ya, bisa, come on. Masih yang penting menang dan siap.
だから相手がさ、フォアに引き寄せられるから、ラウンドのクロスマッシュがあんま少ないじゃん、今日はさ。あいつ絶対そういうところが一番。ラウンドクロスマッシュ大好きなんですよ。だからまず自分がフォア側でしっかり主導権に行って、ね、遅れたら溜めてもいいし、下げてもいいし、ね、後ろに下げてもいいし、ロビングでもいいし、ね、その辺ね。で攻めたら攻めるし、ね、そこはいいやっぱフォアの勝負。だから唯一フォアのクロスロブね、相手のフォアこう速いから、ここに対して自分がこっちから行くか沈めるかね。まあちょこちょこ前来るからクリアも絶対有効だと思う、この試合はね。
Well, there was a surprising lot of talk from Coach Nakanishi to Momota. I say surprising because I thought the second half of the game he was playing exceptionally well.
Yeah. Just the difference in the body language between the two players.
I think the accumulation of tiredness has just caught up with Jonatan Christie.
I was just thinking the same. Now, had he been close in the first game or even won it, then maybe he'd been able to ride on.
Yeah.
But I think so too. Now it's, there's a long way, and he's got to be tired after this match here if he's going to win it. And that's also what Momota is saying. Hey, you might get past me, but then you might not be able to walk tomorrow.
Well, we know that there's already an Indonesian in the semi-final stage, and that's Tommy Sugiarto. Won the opening game against Samir Verma, 21-17, and then Verma, who beat the defending champion, Anders Antonsen, yesterday. Then Verma retired injured. That's well taken off the top of the tape. Yeah. And this is all one-way traffic now, isn't it?
And it was an injury that Verma picked up in the match against Antonsen when leading 16-11 in the second game. He strained his calf muscle, his left calf muscle, was able to secure the win against Antonsen, but called it quits when he lost the first game today against Sugiarto.
Oh, that's Momota of old, isn't it? Attacking shots, acute angle. And when you look at the second half of the opening game and now the 7-love lead, that's actually 20 of the last 23 points to Momota.
There's been one thing that has been the key to the wins, the defeats Momota has suffered. The ones that have beaten him, they have won the net over him. That has not been the case here. This looks a lot more like the Momota version. 19.
Yeah. Getting to the shuttle early.
Yeah.
Willing to attack. Control of the front. And Jonatan Christie now looking like a spent force. understandable.
Yeah. And they had to play on 2 days after they won the Thomas Cup for the first time in 19 years. I can understand that there might not be anything left in the tank. Do we have any Indonesian? Yeah, we have Tommy Sugata, but he wasn't in the Thomas Cup team.
No.
Otherwise, no Indonesian so far has made it to. We have men's doubles as well, but none from the Thomas Cup team.
24 of the last 27 points.
Belakangnya sebenarnya nggak kenceng banget, tapi bolanya karena kenceng, jadi dia
So
nyambung.
now Ivansai is saying, forget what I told you between the first and the second game.
Pinggangnya nggak enak.
Feeling pinggang belakangnya tuh
Sakit banget.
kayak ganjel, gimana sih, kayak ngeganjel gitu. Pinggang belakangnya ini mau gerak apa? Mau gerak rada cepat.
I think they might be discussing whether he quits here.
Ya oke. Yang penting satu, coba dulu gini. Kamu dari tengah depannya main dulu gitu. Jadi nggak usah buru-buru ya. Itu doang.
Discussions about
Gitu. Dicoba ya.
a lower back problem.
Oke, ayo coba paksa lagi.
It's good that he's coming back onto
し
court.
っかり自分のいいプレーねいいイメージして自信持っていこう。はい、頑張った。
11, love. Play.
Oh, look at that net shot.
Hey,
12, love.
Yeah, there's more of a swagger with the walk of Kento Momota now in this match. Well, huge credit to the man for playing on. I like that. I think we've seen far too many players give up on matches.
we don't know. He hasn't reached 20 yet.
Yeah. Yes, of course, that reference to Shiuchi playing against Momota. Retired injured, win a game and 20 points to 5 down. Yeah.
14, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Love.
Oh, I think he may be calling time. He's
Calling
up.
for some spray.
And spray on his back. Yeah.
In a situation like this, there's no need to play on.
Deputy referee Patnagar from Australia calling for the medical team to come on.
More ice? We only have ice.
I think, to be honest, he's had enough. Grimace on the face. Yeah, he's not going to win this match, that's for certain. It's a question of whether...
And this is where I think
No,
that
he's- he-
inside could step in.
Yeah. He said he's had enough. He's...
Christie retires. Match won by Kento Momota.
So the match,
21-13.
when leading 15-love in the second game to Kento Momota, 21-13, 15-love. And poor old Jonatan Christie, who was so obviously struggling, has said, I need to rest up. So safely through to the semi-final once more, Kento Momota. Match lasting 31 minutes. Yeah, that's sad to see. He's worked so hard for his country over the last two team competitions. But there is confirmation, 21-13, 15-love in the second, when Jonatan Christie forced to retire with a back injury. But there were certainly signs that Kento Momota is finding the form that took him to 12 finals in 2019, and that's a joy for all badminton fans to know that he's getting back to somewhere near his best. So up next, women's doubles. Super Jirakun and Tevrat Tanachai against Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan, former champions here at the Denmark Open.